show.
I know. Look,
I know, but I have to.
And if you don't know, now you know.
I want us to be the same height. It's very important to me. Turn down the basketball. Cavs are going to win because they're very good at basketball.
Ooh, it's going to be a sweep then, isn't it?
I don't believe so. I think the Raptors, Drake got on the court. They played Saturday and the Cavs won again. I don't think it's a sweep. I think Drake got on the court in game 3 and just started dunking on LeBron. And they got him that W. I hate Drake. I think I hate Drake.
I love Drake.
You get this. What's everyone's thoughts on Drake? Is he annoying, or do people like him? Because here's the thing: he got into it with not into it. He was jabber-jawing with Kendrick Perkins, not Kendrick Lamar.
I was gonna say Kendrick Lamar.
No, it was like there were halftime, so people are walking, they start doing some of this stuff, and Drake's like, you go locker room, and then he turns to see if his bodyguards are there. Fucking soft piece of shit. Hate him.
I don't mind him.
He's not cute.
I don't mind him. I don't hate him.
I don't like any of his songs. What songs does he have? Like Bruno Mars. I don't know why I went straight to Bruno Mars. Because he's not somebody I listen to or like, but I know a number of his songs. I know he exists.
I see where you're going.
Drake, what are any of them? Who is he?
He had that song with Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne where she's talking about them eating her ass.
Oh.
Obviously I remember that one for certain reasons.
Man. Millennials.
It seems to be a popular millennial thing. I don't remember that coming up in a high school conversation one time.
Yeah.
Like, you know what?
Did you ever see that?
Eat her ass. What?
There was an article. It was just like, are millennials eating too much ass?
No, it wasn't. Was it like on Huffington Post too? Like a serious?
No, it was. None of them are serious. They're all fucking BuzzFeed to me. They're all garbage.
Right, but was it like a serious slant on it? You know, like we are concerned with millennials and their ass eating.
They're too gross. They go straight to the ass. You ease into it, kids.
That's why you eat the Tide. That's why you snort Tide Pods.
Maybe that's what they're doing
from the ass.
They're washing out. Yeah, we solved it. We solved the youth crisis.
We are.
I don't know if listener Dave knows about eating ass. Maybe he does.
I think he does.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he does. I think he does. All Greg in the chat. Good looking out. For those that just listen podcast style, we're also live streaming this, so we'll occasionally look down at the chat and interact with our live listeners.
I was trying to keep it kayfabe, keep it nice. Like, he may or may not eat ass. And you guys like, I saw it.
No, this is straight. This is straight shooting.
I seen it. So you were out coaching stuff. That's good. I'm glad you made it back on time. Every Monday, you're like, I might be late, and I'm like, I don't care. 8:15. None of this matters. We'll be fine.
Give you the courtesy.
Greg will be pissed. Greg will be fucking furious in the chat, but he'd forgive us.
I don't just like show up to a session at 12 o'clock and just show up late and not have a good excuse. So I always like to let you know if I'm going to be running late.
12:30.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
That's why we ended so late. I was like, man, this went longer than I thought.
6 o'clock.
The dick fight did last longer than expected, but
those
half an hour.
Those dicks were beautiful too, by the way.
They were nice dicks. I will pass it on to the artist of the dick miniatures from our Dungeons and Dragons game. That's what we are talking about. It was fun. It was a Friday the 13th inspired session. I thought it was fun.
With some twists that actually made it more interesting.
Some, like what?
Oh, like the mother stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you got to slap some fucking veneer on it. You got to put some D&D skin on it. You got to, and I thought it worked out.
And they had a co-op fight. You know, you never get that in the movies. There's never a fight where they're both around.
Yeah, well, when I was putting this adventure together, I was thinking two things. what you just said.
And eating ass.
Jason and eating ass. Millennials eating ass. Jason Voorhees never really teams up with anybody, like a criminal or just some rando lunatic, and he doesn't talk. And as a DM, you throw a voice on, you say, "I'm gonna destroy you," and I wanted to do that so many times, but I was just like, yeah. he'll give you an Listener Dave has just joined chat. Let's all be cool.
Yep, let's pretend like
let's all be cool.
Everything's cool, Dave.
But it was a fun Friday the 13th adventure, and I'll probably tweak it a bit, make it more consumable for the masses, and put that out around October time, probably September, on dmsguild.com, where I have a number of my adventures, and it'll be a nice little spooky moment for folks, I think.
Good.
You guys went straight to that center island, though. I was just like, all right, there's like 5 other locations, but that's player's choice.
I felt like it was natural, though. We didn't metagame it. It was just sort of like somebody was going to go to the boat. We went to the barn, and then everyone freaked out and like, well, let's just stay at this boat. We got the paddles. Let's just go. Maybe he can't. I was like, maybe he can't swim.
Yeah, and that might be a flaw in the map design, and I'll try to throw that up here in a minute, because the dock for the Friday the 13th adventure is kind of in the middle. So if you wanted to, you just kind of could do that. But so the map design might have been a bit flawed, but there were no oars or paddles for it, so it kind of slowed you down a bit. Here's a sword shot. I'm going to throw that map up. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. It's on the screen. This is the map for my Friday the 13th. And so we'll just throw it over my face because nobody gives a shit. But yeah, the dock right there. So you guys hit up those cabins, and then you're like, all right, dock and barn, and fuck the east side of this map.
I feel like we covered a good portion. We started at the windmill. We worked our way all the way through those cabins to the barn and the dock. And then Jalen was after us when we were at the dock. And then almost got a solo kill. He almost got a 1v1.
Yeah, this is great. You guys Scooby-Dooed it and split the party about 3 or 4 times. I'm just like, are they fucking serious now?
Yes. I wanted to do that every time. I wanted it to be like the movies.
You guys are like level 10.
Well, I was. Everyone else was 9.
The higher it goes, like everything scales up, but the mistakes will add up, though. The mistakes are going to be fucking killer. And splitting the party like that, especially isolation, because you guys were at the barn, you saw some stuff, and you went back to the dock. And then she said, I want to go get the ore at the barn. You forgot the ore, so she went solo to the barn to get the ore. You don't go solo in a Friday the 13th story.
Right?
And she went back, and she tries to run away, and I said, just don't fall. Just roll. Make sure you don't fall. And she rolled poorly, and she fell, which is such a horror movie cliche and trope that I fucking loved it. And yeah, she almost got killed. So long story short, Friday the 13th adventure for D&D will come out in September. Might tweak this map a bit, move that dock up by that spooky cemetery. That's where you put a dock, right? By spooky cemetery.
Where's the propeller?
Figuring it out. Where is the battery? Now, while I was putting this adventure together, I'm watching the Friday the 13th movies, and we discussed this a little bit, I think, yesterday. But in Friday the 13th, Jason Lives.
Yes,
with
part
the opening.
6.
It just makes me laugh every time I think about it now, because I'm like, Tommy Jarvis is so stupid. Because the movie opens with grown-up Tommy Jarvis, previously Corey Feldman, but he's grown. He's a grown-ass man eating ass now.
Now he's Tom Matthews. Tom with an H. I never liked that. I don't like Tom.
We're gonna dig up Jason and we're gonna cremate him because I got a bad feeling about this. And his buddy's like, I just wanted to kind of fuck you, dude. I think you're a real good-looking guy. I was like, maybe we'll share an interest, but this is a little too much. But hey, afterwards, and we all know what happens. Digs him up, lightning, boom, gets him, sparks Jason back to life, and it kills his buddy. Never gets to fuck Tommy Jarvis. This poor guy. That's the tragedy of Jason Lives for me. Sparks him back to life, kills his buddy, and Tommy Jarvis is like, fuck.
He just bails.
And he just leaves. But not only does he just leave, which makes sense. I'll give, don't stick around. You're not going to win that 1v1 at the barn. You're not going to win that. But what he does is, like, the very next scene, he's at the police station.
Are you coming back? There you are.
I'm coming back. I'm here now. But the next scene, he's at the police station. He's just like, Sheriff, I fucked up. I done goofed. I shouldn't have did it. He tells him, I went to the lightning camera, killed the guy who was trying to fuck me. And we need to do something about it. And then the movie takes off. But he was quick with, I fucked up. I need to tell an adult.
Right. Even though we're both 35 or whatever. Yeah, it's really interesting when you think about how many people, if you just, just do some back of the napkin math. Part 6, Part 7, Part 8. I guess let's not count Jason Goes to Hell, because I don't like to count that as part of the Fridays. But 6, 7, and 8, what do you want to say? 50 people probably died because Tommy just had a bad feeling?
And he's just like,
because Jason was just dead in the ground, permanently buried, rotting away, maggots in his eyes. And Tommy's just like, no, we got to go back there. Oh, he got resurrected like Frankenstein's monster with lightning. Like, Tommy caused all of that havoc.
Some people just can't leave well enough alone. And you're right. He's just like, restart. Now,
it's completely his fault.
As you said that, and I agree, my mind said he was buried, 6 feet deep. That's how deep they bury people. What if he came back alive, like when he was under the water and he was just kind of stuck down there? He couldn't have muscled his way out of that, could he? 6 feet?
No, I don't think so.
He couldn't.
Not if it's buried.
Did it. Kill Bill did it. Her name is Kill Bill. She did it.
Yeah, I don't remember. How did she dig her? Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think she was 6 feet deep covered with dirt.
Ah, that fucker, that was Michael Madsen. He was lazy as fuck. He's like 6 feet. Shallow grave, bitch. Shallow.
So he wasn't dead and just kept coming back to life and re-dying and just couldn't get out of the dirt. Either way, he wasn't bothering anyone for quite some time. From the time Tommy was a little boy until the time Tommy was 40, he didn't touch anyone. He was just buried. And Tommy's like, I don't know. Let's go dig him up.
Do you think so? I think you're right. I think that would have played better if he was like a teenager and he's stupid and he's afraid. But this is a grown ass man.
Or if
he's close to retirement.
If Jason came back to life some other way, like maybe a mean person brought him back to life on purpose, or just some random happenstance, but not like the guy that killed him. It's like, he's dead. I'm going to go dig him up. That seems like nothing else could go wrong if I dig up this dead guy and cremate him.
Oh, that would have been neat. So, yeah, like a bad person, some fucking child's play, Chucky shit.
Right. Or I'm a careless groundskeeper and I tripped over this cable and...
Whoops.
Or an evil... some developer buys... Crystal Lake, because he buried him in Crystal Lake. That was like the Crystal Lake Cemetery, right? So some developer buys that and plows it over and accidentally digs up Jason, and he kills him. Then we get some fire down below or whatever. He's killing these developers that just want the oil, Steven Seagal style.
Let's get political in my Friday the 13th movies. But I like that. Evil person does it. Keep the same cast and stuff. The sheriff, he's a good guy. But in that movie, the sheriff's just like, go get him. And then you get that scene where you just see the back of somebody's putting on his fucking jean jacket. And he turns and it's Tommy Jarvis. So Tommy's still in it, but in a different role where he's not a fucking retard.
Or he's still paranoid about it. You know how he thinks he sees Jason Part 5 a lot? Like that happens, and then but it's really Jason. Jason really is back. And he has to cope with this, I never thought this would happen. A number of different ways would have been better, but I think what I remember reading is, or seeing in a documentary, the director or the writer or somebody just had a hard-on for Frankenstein. And like, we want it to be like that.
They love it, don't they?
Zap! Oh, he's back to life. And he just
Freddy versus Jason. I want you to be Frankenstein. Now that's an accurate impression from behind-the-scenes footage.
Oh, God.
He says it just like that, and I said, "Why, Ronnie? You? I can't." So while I'm watching these Friday the 13th movies, getting ready for my D&D adventure, I look like you just did a line of cocaine, by the way.
No.
I was watching Friday the 13th Part 2.
2? Creepy one?
Watching 2. I get to the end, and I know how this all ends. I'm watching it anyway. 2 things kind of bugged me about the end of Part 2 here.
That's it?
One, what's it, Ginny, I believe. She's hiding. And Jason's chasing her down. He's got the pillow sack, and he's got a pitchfork because they haven't figured it out yet. They're on their way. And she's running. She's hiding here, hiding there, and she hides under the bed. And this part always makes me laugh when I pay attention and I actually see it. I'm going to throw a picture up here for you in a minute. But she hides under the bed. And what does she see? She's scary. And they said, how can we make this scary? We need her to give her position away so Jason can attack her and find out where she is. Maybe she'll get scared or something. Maybe she'll see something and get real spooked. And what they do is she sees a rat. And whenever I see a rat in a movie, I just laugh my ass off. I have pet rats, and they're always obviously domesticated rats. And these films are like, ah! And I'm just like, that's a cute little motherfucker.
I'm taking him home.
I want to pet him.
Put him in my purse.
And especially this one, if you see the picture, that's just a cute little guy. And my favorite part is when it finally comes over to her, and it's just like, it goes to her hand, like, you gonna pet me?
What you got in that hand?
You guys treating there or something? And as soon as it investigates her hand real quick and there's no food, he's just like, all right, we're done here, bro. And he just fucking scurries away. So it doesn't bug me, but it's always something that makes me laugh. But this does bug me because these movies normally kind of do a good job with the heroine, the survivor girl, strong, cutting heads off of fucking moms and shit.
Why don't you guys just call it heroin?
She says, she hides under the bed, sees the rat, gets scared, and she pisses her pants. That's not very heroic, and it's enough for Jason to know. Now, I don't think there was a sound like tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming he smelled it. Is that what you're telling me, movie? That she saw a rat, got scared, pissed, and he was
maybe, because he's like a wild woodsman.
Is that me? So, a couple things kind of bugged me a little bit while I'm watching some of my favorite horror movies. Just wanted to bring it up. I never really
put thought on that. I can't imagine in that scenario, what's a thing I normally shoo away? Wasps. I don't like them, right? Let's say I'm under a bed and there's a maniacal killer that's murdered a dozen or so people and is trying to kill me, and there's a whole wasp nest under there stinging the shit out of me. I'm not saying a goddamn word. I'm no selling all of that. Like, you guys are fine. You're not even close to what this guy's going to do to me.
Yeah. Tarantula, sometimes you'll see that, where the tarantula walks on their hand and they have to do everything in their will to not freak out. That might get me, to be honest with you. I'd really be tested there. Snakes,
if it's
wasps,
life or death, I bet you wouldn't even notice. Like, you'd be in such a state of shock and adrenaline and panic that the spider there would be nothing for your body to tap into to be like, be scared of spider. You'd be like, I'm all out of that. I'm already scared.
Spider, you're being too loud.
Yeah. You just grab it and squish it with your hand. Shh.
Shut the fuck up, tarantula.
What was the other thing? So there was a couple things that bother you.
Just the rat and the piss.
No, the rat and the piss. Okay.
The rat.
I didn't know if
piss.
that whole scene was one thing.
We got a title for the episode.
Rat and the piss.
The rat and the piss. Gather around. My story this week for the Midnight Society. The rat and the piss.
Do you have any Twitter friends that change their names all the time?
I don't think so.
Like they change their display name?
Have it locked down. It's all branding, so they're sticking with what they got. I don't see it too often, no.
Yeah, because I have somebody, I can't see who it is right now, but I have somebody that changed their name, and I can't find their name, but it's something like Titus O'Neil sliding under the ring or something. Like they changed their whole Twitter.
It might be Titus. The wrestlers do that. They're like, I can't be Titus WWE anymore because I got fired, so I'm Impact Taito.
No, it was like Titus ring under the ring slide or something. It was very elaborate.
They really loved that moment and decided, this is what I want people to see when I tweet for the next 2 weeks. Just to remind people of that glorious, fun time where the big man slid in Saudi Arabia.
I guess.
Yeah, that's probably a kid. You following a lot of kids, Jim?
No, I don't follow. I don't think I follow anyone under the age of 18.
Good answer. Good.
That's legit. Like everyone's around my age, maybe a little younger in their 20s, but I still pretend like I'm in my 20s, so that's fine.
Yeah, you do.
How do you think you look? How do I look?
Jim, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
It's for the visual issue. We're having a visual issue.
Yeah.
I need you to show me your pinky and show me how far you can bend it. Is this something we can do here?
Wait, this one?
The one that's look at that guy. Yeah, we're good. We're good for Wednesday. We're good for
this is the bad one.
Oh no. Almost. Oh, there's still some
Oh, it hurts so bad too.
Still some space.
The problem is the curling at the end. Like I can get the majority of it how it needs to go, but I can't pull that part in. I think whatever pulls that in is just not attached anymore. And it hurts really bad in there, but we'll be good. We'll be fine.
Okay. I need my injury updates, my weekly injury updates, checking on knees, fingers.
Knees are fine. Most of the fingers are fine. Don't worry about it.
All right, Belichick just lying on that injury report. Knees are fine.
You got an upper body and a lower body. I mean, the hockey ones are the best. That's literally all they say is an upper body injury or a lower body injury. Could mean anything. He's got an upper body. His throat was slit and he died in his sleep. Upper body injury.
Upper body, if you want to be cunts about it. Jeez. Sticklers. So health is good, diet's good, things are good.
Yeah.
Eating well. You brought some keto fudge for me.
I did.
Very nice. I ate the shit out of that keto fudge when you left.
It got sloppy like fast though. Oh, okay.
It was like pudding, so I was just like, this is fine now.
Yeah, you want to keep it hard. I want to keep it hard for a while.
And I did have a nice poo session later that night. So thank you.
It's a lot of fat in there. Just so much fat.
Nice.
It's super easy to make too. You could make it.
The fuck does that mean?
Even you could make it.
Even a retard, Tommy Jarvis could make it.
Well, I mean,
and he's an idiot.
Do you bake?
Yeah, I bake. I make food all the time. I make some chicken parmesan. It's fucking delicious.
So even you could make it.
Look, I'm a fat bastard, Jim. I could cook.
You just put all the things in a bowl and mix them together and then put them in another thing and let that thing get cold.
And now we have the recipe.
Take the things, put them in a thing, mix the things, put it in another thing, let it get cold.
Yeah, there were some times where I was cutting out the fudge, boom, 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 eating, and I would come back and because you wrapped it up in foil, and I would come back and I would see there'd be chunks of foil missing, and I was like,
uh-oh. Did I do that?
I think I might have ate some foil. Shit.
It's probably not what you want in your digestive tract.
Ain't no carbs in that.
Good point.
No carbs.
Aluminium, if you're in the UK.
Ooh,
that's how they do
like that.
Aluminium.
Isn't that what they had in Wakanda?
No. Before we get to the Wakanda stuff.
Yeah, I was just dropping it. Very cred.
I did some lifting here and there. I didn't get to talk about this last week, but somebody finally threw up in my car. All over the front seat and the ceiling and the visor and the dashboard and under the seat and all over. Now, it wasn't very liquidy. It was solid chunks of just chewed up food that wasn't digested. And it smelled like, some kind of liquor.
Well, that's good that it was fresh.
Yeah, it was
fresh.
Said,
hey, man, before the lift gets here, let's get some food in us.
We were
go back and have some more good times.
We were pretty much 40 feet away from the destination, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. We had driven about 3 miles and 40 feet away, and he was passed out in the front seat, just out cold. Had the window down a little bit, get a little air in there. And then his buddy is in the back seat, and he was very chatty. He's talking, and then he just stops talking to me, and he goes, "You all right? You all right, man? You all right, man?" He starts talking to his friend. I'm like, his friend's passed. His friend's fine. He must have a sixth sense about his friend or something, because his friend just was like, went from passed out to, and it just everywhere.
See, I think one of two things. He either heard it, you couldn't hear it, and he heard the grumbles.
Yeah, maybe.
Those stomach churns. Or he saw some of this. The guy's just, and he saw some of that body twitch.
Maybe, because he's right behind.
And your eyes are on the road, and he's just
he saw some movement.
Some of this. He's like, "You all right? You all right? You having a seizure?" Nope.
Now, apparently, you can report them and make the passenger pay $150 cleanup fee. I didn't do that. I didn't feel. I mean, it's one thing if I said, "Are you good?" and he said, "No, I'm good. I'll be fine." I'm like, "You sure? Because I'll pull over if you got to puke." And then he said he was fine, and then he puked. I'd be mad. But he was passed out. He was out cold. He almost made it. He felt terrible. He gave me a big tip. He felt bad about it. I've given him rides before. He's kind of like a regular. I didn't want to hit him with that. And everyone in this Lyft group I'm in was like, "What? Why did you do that? Why did you let him off the hook?" I'm like, what if he decides not to take a Lyft next time and slams head on into somebody while he's drunk or something, Like, I wasn't going to do that, make him feel bad. He didn't do it on purpose.
You see those money signs, you're like, he's like one of my 2 regulars. I can't lose him.
Right.
I need him.
Yeah, I need those rides.
That sucks. That's how the body is. Like when you gotta take a real big poo and you're driving home and you're like, I can hold this, it's gonna be fine. But when you're a block away, your body knows it, and it just starts turtle heading. And you're like, come on, be cool, baby. We've gone so far, and your body knows. It says, I can see the toilet from here. It's like, come on. That's what I think. That's what happened to him. Even in his passed out state, his body knew. It was like, oh, we're by the porcelain bowl. We can do this. Instead, your visor got it.
This guy on the line said, it's a $200 minimum for me, or I'm calling the police and reporting you and all this stuff. I'm like, what? You would extort these people for throwing up in your car? This just seems mean-spirited. I'm thinking maybe that guy doesn't have kids, because you didn't try. You didn't try and throw up all over my car. It's not as if I gave you opportunities to throw up and you just didn't. He felt terrible. He was totally ashamed. His friend was, "You motherfucker, we were so close. What the fuck is wrong with you? God damn it." His friend was so pissed at him. Which leads me to believe, I'm putting this together right now live on the air. I'm thinking maybe the friend was the one who called the Lyft and thought he was going to get hit with that $150 cleanup fee. That would make sense why the friend was so pissed.
That's right. It's his dime, his credit card.
He was trying to help clean it up. I'm like, just go inside. Please walk away. Then I had to drive with all 4 windows rolled down. It was like 39 degrees.
Yeah, dude, that Ace Ventura, just head out the fuck.
Yeah, it wasn't bad enough to make me want to puke. So that's good.
Then you clean it up a little bit, and then the next time I get in the car, I'm like, looks a little different in here, but Jim didn't say anything, so I'll just sit down.
They're like, didn't I mention it on the podcast? You're like, no. Like, no. That's right where it happened.
Yeah.
It's like you bought the Myers house. What? What happened here?
Son of a bitch.
He was 6 years old when he killed his sister.
Now, if that friend did know of this cleanup charge thing, that means he's experienced in this.
Yeah, he's like, he's done it before.
Don't throw up because I did that at the Christmas party. Boom. Dave asked if he was drippy.
No. The backseat passenger was, yes. He had that drip from his walk. He had it. He's hit me with the. I'm like, oh, okay. That makes sense why you're so drunk and energetic.
Little that Ultimate Warrior. Snarl.
He was very chatty.
Well, it was bound to happen eventually. You've been doing this for about 2 weeks, and so it didn't take too long. How long have you been doing this? 2 months?
A couple months. Yeah.
You've had quite the experience.
I mean, I made it through Cinco de Mayo, St. Patrick's Day. Nothing. This was just a Friday night. I mean, it was
White Castle's just.
No, it was like a shrimp cocktail and some crab salad and maybe mozzarella sticks. It was like bar food.
Oh yeah, yeah, crab salad, that classic bar food.
This is like a supposedly classy bar, but it's really not.
Oh, that's probably why you fucking threw up. Hey, yeah, Johnny, you sure you're gonna get that crab salad? Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? These people are good. It's like, I want to get the tacos instead, but you can get that crab salad if you want.
Cinco de Mayo was Saturday.
It was.
I drove a nice young lady home who I think was trying to marry me. It was hard to tell. I brought her to Steak and Shake, and she's ordering. Her head's out the window. She's let me get it. Me a number 1 and with a lemonade. And do you have a girlfriend? And I was like, are you asking me or Steak and Shake? No, I was asking you. Like, no, I don't, but I'm married. I have a wife. Oh, you seem so young. You're so young now. I'm 24. And then she forgot that she had told me she was 24. And then, how old do I look? How old do I look? I'm so glad she told me, because I'd have been like 30 tops. Oh. You know? And I was like 21, 22 maybe. I'm 24. Like, oh, wow. No, she was sweet. She was just kind of fucked up. And she's like, guys always want something. And I asked her, are you going to puke in here? 'Cause she was a little drunk. I'm not that drunk. She sort of got a little angry. And I was like, I just got to ask because the guy puked in here. And then I told her.
Don't fucking tell people. Well, I guess if you don't say it happened like 2 fucking days ago.
No, she knows.
Nobody wants to ride in a fucking puke van.
She told me she puked in an Uber before. The guy charged her $150. It's like, I wouldn't do that. See, you're not that kind of guy. I knew you wouldn't do that. I just know you so well. You're not like that. I'm like, we've been in this car for 5 minutes.
She wanted the D.
She gave me the lemonade. Take the lemonade. I don't want it. You can have it. You have the lemonade. Take the lemonade. Like, I don't want it. I don't want the lemonade.
Isn't that code for, didn't Beyonce do a song about lemonade?
I think maybe.
How it's cunt juice.
Is that in the song, that lyric?
I think so.
Lemonade.
Write it.
That cool, refreshing cunt juice. No, but I don't know. Maybe if I brought the lemonade back to her the next day, it was a sign. Who knows? I keep calling my ex-boyfriend. We broke up 3 years ago, but I can't stop calling him. And I'm like,
She just wanted an excuse.
I'm like, I'm just in here. I'm doing it for the tip. And she's like, oh, you're such a nice guy. And I'm like, okay, at the end of the night, let's see what I got. Nothing.
Oh, man. See, that I was going to say that's why I think she wanted to give you lemonade. She'd be like, I didn't give him a tip because he took my lemonade. He took it. But no, you just... Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy the tipping thing. That's nuts. That's my favorite part of all these stories. This is 95%, 99% anecdote, and then 1% she tipped, and Jim always says no, and I always laugh and then feel bad. What the hell's wrong with these? A couple bucks. Like, I don't know these protocols. Like, how many miles per dollar is a tip? But it's just like 3,
anything,
5,
literally anything is fine. Anything, $1, anything.
She was drunk. She was too drunk to tip.
Was it like a $9 ride? Like, if she'd have given me $1 tip, if I got a $30 ride and $1 tip, I would be ecstatic. It's just so few people tip.
You need to start keep paying that price. See,
usually the drunk
encourage these motherfuckers to throw up in your car. Just jostle them so they puke and they feel bad, and then they
you nice threw up, and they're like, you stuck your hand in my mouth. So $150, bitch.
Bitch.
I don't get tipped a lot, but I will say that when I have gotten tipped, I think every time it's somebody that had been out drinking. So she was out drinking. She said she works in the city and she's single. I'm like, she probably got some money, more money than me, right? No tip.
It's crazy. You need to start putting a sign on the back of your fucking headrest.
Hey, that says, tip me.
Did you enjoy this ride? Please give as many stars as you feel appropriate, and tip what you find to be considerate. It was something just to put in their heads that tipping is a thing, and that oh shit, maybe that's policy. I don't know, but maybe a lot of them are just ignorant, like I would be, instead of just assholes, like some of them definitely are, like the casino boys.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's got to be a way for you to put this in their fucking heads that it's a thing, whether it's via conversation. I really like this sign idea I just had. I don't know how you would fucking upholster that into the back of your headrest or anything, but
I've seen people do cute little signs like that, and they just like tape them or like hang them on the headrest. It'll be like a cute little rhyme.
Oh my god! What could the rhyme be?
Do I need a sign? Isn't it? I mean,
yes. 2 months in, I've nonstop with these stories. Yes.
The sign just seems tacky.
It's very tacky. As tacky as not tipping. What could the rhyme be?
I don't know.
Well, what rhymes with tip?
No tipping, tipping. I don't know. JD in the chat said that if he was the friend, he would lie and say he got hit with that $150 puke fee and make his friend pay him back. And I said, of course you would.
Yeah, JD is a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't trust him.
Of course JD would do that.
I was like, hey, who wants to go indoor rock climbing with me? And him and Wendy were like, yeah, we'll go. And I was like, I don't trust him. He's not gonna hold my rope properly. He's not gonna do that belay shit right. And I'm gonna fucking fall to my death. I don't trust him. Trust me, auto belay. I know all the indoor rock climbing terms now because I was interested in it at 4 a.m. one night. It's my newest hobby.
I see.
That I'll do sometime.
Never see it coming.
Nope.
We about to get spoily?
Yeah, because I went and finally saw Infinity War using my Movie Pass. As some of you know, if you're keeping up to date with the Movie Pass saga, we talked about it last week. They changed their policy and it was fucking bullshit. Needless to say, people were very upset. A couple days later, literally one day later, after we dropped the podcast, they said, "We're so sorry."
What were we thinking? April Fools.
We reverted back.
I don't think they said that.
They did. So it's back to unlimited. It's still one movie a day, which it's always been. It's still You can only see the same movie once. You can't see Infinity War 4 or 5 times. It's whatever. It doesn't impact me, but it's fucking annoying. They still did that thing though, because when I saw it the other day, this was after they reverted the changes. Whereas like, you got your ticket, congratulations, take a picture of that fucking ticket stub. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Swipe away. I'm not doing this. I'm not taking it. It can impact your account. You're going to be out of business in 6 months. Fuck you. Take a picture of my ticket stub. I'm not doing it. Not. But they're back to unlimited, and that's good. So now I can see
because of
movies
us
that are coming out. Because of us.
We're taking all that credit.
Yes. So we are going to talk Infinity War here. It's going to be very spoilery. So if you haven't seen it and you're interested in it, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening and watching to Rats and Traps, Rats and Piss.
If you have seen Infinity War, stick around because we're going to talk about it right now.
Right now. Well, one of the things I was just interested in was body count. All the contracts, and is this guy gonna stay? Is this actor gonna leave? And who's gonna live? Who's gonna die? And right away, the first scene, we get action. We get Thor, and we get Loki and Thanos, and they're like literally beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, like Thor's already knocked out when the scene starts. He's like on the ground.
Yeah, and I was like, good. Thank you. Don't waste my time because your movie's already 2 hours and 40 minutes. I appreciate this. And there's a fight, and we get our first death right away.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Thor's brother Loki, and I was like, damn, because he's such a favorite. He wouldn't be the only favorite to bite it. But I was like, I couldn't believe they got rid of Loki.
Okay.
And we'll see if it stands, because you know how these gods are.
Loki, I always feel like is never really dead.
He's too good.
Like, you remember that scene when I died? I was really an ambulance driver, and I put my Loki mask on Michael Myers' fake body.
I crushed his larynx so he couldn't say.
That's what happened. I crushed his neck. And we established some in-ring psychology right away, which is... even with just, at this point, he has, what, 1 stone?
Yes.
The Hulk is no match. The Hulk is no match. He just mollywops the Hulk like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
Beats the shit out of him by himself. Okay? Yeah. That's important because we'll get to that.
So, Loki, done right away.
Yep.
What's his name? Heimlich. Kirk Heinrich gets stabbed in the chest.
Heinrich, that's it.
Right away, the Asgard gatekeeper fella, he gets it, and we get not
before he shoots Hulk to Earth to warn everyone. Like,
get out of here! It's good stuff. But we get a Thor stab, and he's like, no, you guys, we can't do that. That's we have to stop doing that. There's another one that always drives me crazy, and it happened in this once, maybe even twice, where somebody goes, "Really? Blah 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 blah. Really? Like rabbit? Really? I'm fucking done with reallys.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I just hate it.
Really?
But yeah, you motherfucker.
Got him.
So that was the opening. We get a nice little snapshot of what's going on, who this bad guy is, what he wants. Oh yeah, he's got the glove.
How strong is he? Pretty fucking strong.
He's got one thing I thought would be an issue that was going to be an issue with this movie was exposition, because there's the fucking 5 stones. You've got the thing. You've got why he wants the things. What happens when he does the things? And I was like, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. Just explaining stones is like, well, this one is time and this one is space and this one is mind. But they do a pretty good job with it, because they don't really front load it. We get the first 2 in the opening scene, and then Doctor Strange has a scene with his other mystic buddy, and they pretty much do a fucking PowerPoint presentation. And he's just like, well, you see, this one is red, and this does this, and it's nice. It's like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it doesn't last too long.
And
it's not like in the Man of Steel movie where we literally see everything, and then we have to see Jor-El give Kal-El the PowerPoint presentation in the middle of the movie of everything we've already seen and know.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that.
I agree.
It was sort of like Ego in Guardians 2, where he's like, well, here's what happened.
Yeah, I like that too.
I'm a thing, and I'm the universe.
I go to all these planets to try to see who can take my good seed.
I had to kill her.
And your mom.
I didn't want to kill her.
Your mom loved it. I had to kill her. Oh.
Did Bruce Banner annoy you on Earth right away?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because that bothered me. I'm like, he's being irritating.
Well, he was kind of strong and smart early on in this Mark Ruffalo run, and then they were like, he's got a lot of chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. So they basically made them BFFs. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's fine, that's cute. But when he's not with them, or when he's with them too long, it does outstay its welcome. And he's just like, oh, I don't know, I'm a meek little guy all of a sudden. And it's like, no, you're not, Bruce, you're not. And then the broad comes in that he's crushing on, and there's that thing, and what's his face says awkward. And I'm just like, oh, some things I could just do without. Mm-hmm. But early on, we learn
that whole scene, the whole couple of scenes in the beginning. He's just like, Thanos, that's the guy. He's so strong. He's beating everyone. We got to get ready. I'm like, you were just the Hulk for like a long ass time, and just got beamed down here. But he's like, no, Thanos is coming. He's tough. I just fought him 10 seconds ago. I'm like, this is a little much for me.
And one thing they did like 3 times, and I would forget about it each time, because like you said, he was the Hulk for a long time. He's on other planets. He's just fucking out of here. And I kind of forgot that, even though I've seen Thor Ragnarok. But he's back on Earth now, and he's in human form. And every time we would see one of the new Avengers pop into the movie, he would have to explain, oh, yeah, I'm back. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's been a long time, right? And I'm just like, oh, that's right. They have to do their catching up.
You weren't here. We split up. The Avengers are no more. Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, having to do that multiple times is just unfortunate. But when you have 25 characters who care about each other, you have to have that, where the fuck were you, man? You have to have those scenes and moments. But early on, we learn what Thanos is all about, what he wants to do with these stones, which I didn't know in this Marvel universe. I knew he's Thanos, his glove, his powers, but I think this is the first time we've learned what his plan is, which is to kill half of the population. Mm-hmm. He says the universe is finite, and you guys are out of fucking control. You're gonna fuck it all up with I was like, overpopulation. It was fucking hilarious to me. He's like, I'm gonna fix it. Mm-hmm. This motherfuckers.
He Bill Burred everybody. He was like, fuck, it's too many people. I need to learn how to fly a helicopter.
Oh, that's what I said to my girlfriend after the movie, because she loves Bill Burr. And we definitely agreed on that. But I was like, okay, he's got some motivation. It's a little off center, which is what you want from your villains. He obviously doesn't see himself as the villain. Every villain's the hero in their own story, blah blah blah. But he had a reason, and I was like, thank Christ he has a reason, and it's not revenge. I was so good. I was so good with that situation.
Yeah, revenge is kind of boring on this scale. Like, I want to wipe out half the population of the entire plane of existence that we're on.
Yeah.
Because of that one thing you did that one time.
You killed my mommy, so I'm killing billions. Which, saying that brings me to another subplot in the movie with Vision and Scarlet Witch. Vision has one of the stones in his head. Scarlet Witch is fucking Vision. They have a relationship. Yep. He's like, you need to kill me and do your thing that you do and blow this the fuck up. No, but I love you. I love you so much. And I was just like, do you not know what is at stake?
Right.
Are you the stupidest woman on this planet? Everyone's telling you what's going on.
And Cap is Cap. We don't trade lives. We don't trade lives.
I'm Cap. The better way.
I'm like, that makes more sense. Cap.
No mask for Cap. No mask for Tony.
No shield for Stark. Cap. Those fucking shields. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Get this man a shield, but a shittier one that's not as iconic as the one we're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man without a mask for half of it. I mean, I know why we need to see the movie stars. We paid a lot of money for these movie stars. We got to see them. Yeah.
Plenty of Spider-Man. There was plenty of Spider-Man, which was cool.
Probably my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
I love this Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I never thought in a million years I would say this. The comics never really did it for me. The cartoon never really did it for me. The Tobey Maguire stuff, Andrew Garfield, no. But this little motherfucker, he's just so innocent and childlike, and everything's just so cool. He's like, I'm in fucking space. Wow. I love him. I love him.
He gets sworn in as a real Avenger.
Yeah. He's so good. I can't wait to see him in the next movies.
Do you know what we got too? Which it felt weird that we didn't get it in his standalone movie, but we got to see the Spider Sense. He's on the bus. His very first scene. He's on the bus. That giant ship appears, and he sort of wakes up and looks, and like his arm, he gets like goosebumps. His hair like stands up on his forearm.
Yeah.
Which is like a major part of his powers. It's like how he doesn't get his ass beat all the time. And they didn't really touch on that at all in his most recent movie. And they're like, well, we can do this in one shot. He's like,
and it fits within the character. It's quick. We don't have to have that call Spider-Man or how do we get Spider-Man there? Well, I don't know. Maybe Peter could be spying on him because he wants to be in an event. And they're just like, no, he's Spider-Man. He fucking spider senses something is awry, and he's out. He's out being a hero as soon as it happens. Love him. Can't wait for the next 3 Spider-Man movies. So yeah, then we get a lot of Doctor Strange on Earth. There's this whole Thanos is coming. We need to do something. Thanos is coming. And we get Doctor Strange and Tony Stark yelling at each other, which I hate.
I knew you did. I'm watching it in the theater. I'm like, oh, Dale hates this part.
And I love Robert Downey Jr. I love Tony Stark, but I hated this. It reminds me of those shows like like a Psych or a 24, where the characters always saying outlandish shit but we need to do this. And you're like, I don't believe you. But then you have to remember, he's been right every fucking time about this sort of thing. Maybe I'll go with it. And
they're always like, no, I still don't believe you.
Yeah, like they had to fucking, that scene when they're in the fucking Sanctum house went on forever, and as soon as like something was happening outside and they had to walk outside to actually see it for the movie to continue, that was torture. I actually love that scene where he walks out and it's chaos. It was kind of 9/11ish, but that kind of helped the moment because it was kind of fucked up. Lady falls. What does a hero do? Helps the old lady up. And I said, I see what you're doing. We don't need that. We know who Tony Stark is, but yeah, help that lady up. Turns the corner and sees the big spaceship. And what is Doctor Strange? And it's like, because it's entering the atmosphere, it's like a fucking windstorm and there's debris and it's a fucking tornado essentially. And Doctor Strange is like, I can fix this. And he just like poofs, like when he windbursts himself or some such shit and kind of clears the weather. He poofs it right back towards the ship. So we don't have to deal with the fucking wind machines anymore for the remainder of this scene. And like there's a moment where I think either somebody looks at Strange or Strange looks at somebody, and there's that like, oh, and I'm like, no,
he's your favorite.
It's pushed wind.
Pushed the wind.
Pushed wind. But we see Thanos has these children of Thanos, his lackeys, his muscle, and we see there's 2 fighters. There's the big fighter who's like Hulk size, and then there's the coolest character in the entire Marvel universe. And his name is Ebony Maw. Might want to
the Wizard Master.
He's like a fucking Jedi god. Like, me and my girlfriend kept going like, I fucking love this guy. He had the coolest lines. It's like, we are offering salvation, and your sacrifice will not be in vain. Like, he's up his own ass. He's like, I've never failed Thanos. All these cool stuff, and he's fighting like 4 Avengers by himself.
Yeah,
like,
easily.
Do this, and he's just like, no. Those are things like, I'll cut that in half. It was fucking cool.
They hit him once where they hit him with the portal gun, where they're like made the 2 holes and he shot spikes back at his own head and he got himself. I'm like, oh, I remember the game Portal.
Yeah,
sort of reminded me of.
Yeah, and he was very mortal. Like, these other guys got armor, and they're gonna have fight scenes later where you're like, this should have killed them 20 times over. But this guy, you hit him, and he's like, fucking my fucking nose, Tony, fuck. But it's he was like balanced like a D&D character because he was just so fucking
because good luck
powerful.
Hitting him.
It's like a glass cannon. So he's very cool. He's like, we're here for the stone. He's got it. Doctor Strange has it, and there's like, you'll never get it. I'm Doctor Strange, and he's just like, and they just knock Doctor Strange out, and they're like, we'll just take you. We'll take you because we're having trouble getting it. You're hiding it because you're a wizard, but we know it's on you. So we'll cut it out of you if we have to. And they take him on their spaceship and they leave, and Tony Stark and Spider-Man stow away. So that's how we get them up there.
I love the line where he's like, good luck breaking a dead wizard's spell. And he's like, oh, you're gonna wish you were dead, but we're not gonna kill you.
Yeah, he was good. And as I'm watching it and I'm falling in love with this character, I'm thinking, like, how are we getting rid of this guy? Because, like, in any other movie, he's the big bad.
Yeah.
But in this one, he's like Thanos' lackey. And I always love that. I always say that when you have that relationship, like, if you think he's bad, that other guy's got to be so much badder. His death, and it happens relatively shortly after this moment on the spaceship. They have another fight. Boom, boom, boom. And they just kind of open the airlock on him. And he gets sucked out into space, and we have that scene where he's like, oh, and he gets all icicled up, and he's fucking gone. And I was pissed, dude. Like, obviously he's going to die in this movie. He's not, they're all going to get got.
It seemed really easy.
I was like, not like this, not so early. He needs to be like the second to last to go.
Right.
But he's too powerful, and they're like, we need to get rid of this character because he's breaking everything in our story.
Right, or else Thanos will have no one to fight.
Thanos will have no one to fucking fight. So, yeah, and then we have Guardians of the Galaxy guys. That shows up. Apparently, James Gunn wrote those scenes. He wrote the Guardian scenes, which I love that. It makes sense, but not everything, that makes sense happens. So I'm very happy that it worked out that way.
I love Star-Lord having the complex about Thor being tall and muscular and attractive.
Yeah, everybody was like, Thor, this fucking dude. And he's just like, oh, muscular too, and all this kind of comedy. Why are you making your voice deep? I'm not. This is how I talk. Yeah, my theater popped because a lot of time when they do these transitions, we're here, we're there, it'll say like New York at the bottom. We're in New York now. It cuts to the stars and the planets, and it just says space. And you hear the 80s music, and my theater's just like, fucking Guardians time, you guys. We're doing the Guardians. And I was one of them. I was like, yeah.
My theater was a little quiet. Because it was 3:45 show. It didn't start until like 4 because they couldn't figure out how to turn it on, and then it started with no sound, and I had to go back out and like, hey, run it back, but with the sound on this time, please. Jesus Christ. There's no sound. How about we skip all the trailers? I'm like, I hope there weren't any good trailers. So yeah, by that moment, like, there were no pops. There was some laughter, but there were no popping in our theater. Last 5 to 10 minutes, we got more vocalization from our crowd, which was awesome because it wasn't over the top. But we get Guardians. They meet up with Thor, and they have their comedy.
And we start getting the clusters of Avengers. This group's here, this group's there, these 5 are there, which is such a good way of doing it.
Hawkeye is at home eating spaghetti.
They were like, he has a family now. And Ant-Man,
he seemed like he could have come in handy, though.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Right? Way more handy than Hawkeye.
Yeah, you know what? Put him in the gauntlet and then make him get big and destroy the gauntlet. Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So, but they don't do that. So all these clusters of heroes are like, we need to do this. We need to protect the stones. And we're starting to learn where the stones are. And we keep seeing Thanos and his crew going to get them. Somebody has this one. Somebody has that one. I don't remember the exact order. How did he get the Soul Stone?
Oh, the Soul Stone is the one where he has to kill Gamora. She knows where it is, and he tortures Nebula and makes Gamora tell him where it is, and then he throws her in a pit or something.
Yeah, that stone was weird because it's just like it needs
Red
to be...
Skull was there, like, hey, hanging out with the Soul Stone. I was excited because I love Red Skull, but I'm like, I don't know why he's here, but there he is.
It's so weird. Like, that should have been the Stan Lee cameo.
It's a Soul Stone.
But the Soul Stone gets formed. It gets created right in front of your very eyes after you go to this specific location in this specific little planet, and you have to make a sacrifice or something that you love. And Gamora's like, and we all saw it coming a million miles away. But she's like, you big dumb fuck. You don't love anything because you're a dick. And he starts crying and all that. And Red Skull's like, he mourns for you. And she's like, shit.
What?
and it wasn't like a Sparta kick. Like, he had to like drag her kicking and screaming for like 20 feet before he was just like,
And if he didn't really love her, you get the impression it wouldn't have worked. So he really did love. So she's like, he really does love me, and I'm dead.
Yeah. Thanos is good in this. Good motivation, good lines. Looks weird, but you do get used to it. What's his name's voice carries it quite a bit.
James Brolin. Josh Brolin. James Brolin's his dad.
Yeah, he does a very good job with it. Now,
here's a scene that just bothers me a little bit. If we're doing like Al Snow, Jim Cornette, ring psychology. So
slow down, Avengers. God damn.
At this point, I think he's got like 4 stones, maybe 5. Because I think he comes back. He's got the Soul Stone, and then he's like Star-Lord. There's a lot of them, right? But like Star-Lord, Drax, Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. They're like fighting him off until Sleepy Mantis Girl can make him sleep. And then they almost get the gauntlet off. He beat Hulk like basically with 1 stone. Just like pummeled him, beat the shit out of him, completely fucked him up, fucked his world up. Drax couldn't even touch Ronan in the first Guardians, right? Ronan, who Thanos could just like kill with the snap of his finger, but they're all like hitting him and like, hit him in the back of the knee. They go for the Kroll move, the back of the knee. And he's just sort of like, I got web on my face, and then they sleep him. And I'm like, that seemed way too easy when he's got the fucking stone that just turns you into a bubble. Like,
yeah, it doesn't track.
It just seemed too easy the way they almost got the gauntlet off.
They sell it though with the numbers game.
Yeah,
they're just like he's being swarmed, and they're more annoying than anything. And she gets the surprise drop on him and can do the mind meld shit, which I love. That's broken up because he's being mind meld, so he's kind of paralyzed for a second, and it's when Star-Lord learns that he like 10 minutes ago killed Gamora, and he fucking loses his shit and he starts beating him and he breaks the spell and the movie continues. But that was I mean, that's good. That's a good moment.
Makes sense. No, the scene makes sense. No, to have
yeah,
it there.
I know. I know. Like, with the fight, I get it.
Seems a little too easy. Yeah. And that's the one thing that my wife and I disagreed about. Normally we have big disagreements with these movies, but that was the only one where she's like, no, there was a lot of them and they had to do all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but like, if you imagine Hulk fighting all of them, I just can't imagine it going that easily. And he was like, oh, Hulk, pop, 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 pop. Hulk's out of the picture. You gotta just do your psychology. You gotta do it right. You can't wrestle a blow-up doll.
You gotta book your monster like a fucking monster.
Motherfucker.
I want a Wendy's double cheeseburger with extra cheese. And then there's the worst part of the movie for me. It's when I tap out in a lot of these movies because it's just nothing but fluff, nothing of true consequence. You can literally fast forward 12 minutes of this and nothing has changed. And it's the big fight scene in Wakanda. And I love Wakanda. And it was fun seeing the guy that was an enemy of the Black Panther in the movie. He's like, I'm here for you, brother. And I was like, that's a cute moment. But as soon as the fighting started, I was just like,
and it makes sense. Like shit,
wake me up when the story continues, please.
Yeah, it was. It seemed completely pointless. There was no threats. I felt like there was no threat there. It wasn't like, oh, these lackeys are almost going to win. Like Black Widow killed one of them by herself. Like, I'm not worried about this. But you know, they're just keeping things warm down here on Earth until Thanos gets here.
The only thing the movie had going for it during that stretch is, because once again, my curiosity of who's going to die, who's not going to die, I'm like, I don't know, maybe Black Panther's sister has a contract dispute and maybe they'll kill her in the laboratory or something, you know? So I'm just kind of watching to see if maybe, I don't know, Bucky gets fucking run through and I'm like, oh shit, Bucky's gone. Didn't see that. That's the only reason I'm half watching this fucking CGI fest. And then
they give us all the women fighting the woman, bad guy. Yeah. Girl power.
I was kind of hoping that, I forgot what it was, but I basically wanted the women to win. And I wanted then like, yeah, we did. And then like one of the fucking guy ones to just kill one of the women, just for like that heel heat. Just for that. I thought that would have been kind of fun.
Scarlet Witch is up in the tower protecting Vision.
Did they do that 4v1 essentially for good women against the one bad lady? Is that because they didn't want like men on woman violence like it's fucking WWE?
No, I don't think so.
Intergender matches. We don't do intergender matches.
There was definitely some of that.
Because when that happened, I was like, oh, I think somebody's gonna die. And they don't want to have that man on female murder. They can fight, but they don't want that murder.
Thanos definitely murdered the fuck out of Gamora, though.
He sure did.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just thought it was them like, look at all these powerful female characters, powerful villains, powerful heroes, all in one scene.
Survivor Series in November.
Scarlet Witch comes down to help, which seems like a bad idea. It was like, whatever you do, stay with Vision in case you got to blow up his mind hole.
Yeah, Vision has the last stone. Big Boy's got all the stones but one. It's the mind one, and it's in his fucking head. And they're like, we're gonna get it out of him and destroy it. I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's that.
So, it was like we got to be careful. We can't just rip it out of him. He'll die. So if we're really careful, we might be able to take it out of him, and then Scarlet Witch can definitely destroy it with her power.
Meanwhile, hundreds of fucking Wakandans are being slaughtered by these cockroach monsters.
Right.
But Vision's like, please take care of my stone. It's like, just kill this dude.
Yeah.
He was a robot a year ago.
You could have saved so many people just killing him.
So he's got the last stone. And then she ends up leaving. Things kind of go haywire because Operation Keep Him Safe is fucked. He ends up out there somehow. They're like, get this fucker. The lackeys are going after him. So there's a big showdown in like this forest nook in Wakanda here, and Vision's there, and Scarlet Witch is there, and Thanos, and Thanos shows up. He's like, I'm here. I want my thing. Because I think he just got the space one. So now he can just like, I'm here. I don't need to travel anymore. I can just do this. So he arrives and he just starts beating the shit out of Avenger by Avenger. Because he sees him. He's like, Vision, I see you're over there. I'll be over there in a minute. So on his way, he's just knocking the fuck out of all these dudes, all these heroes to get over there. And there's 2 left. And it's Vision and Scarlet Witch, and she's between them.
This is where right before that is when I thought Cap was gonna die. I'm like, he's like Cap's holding his hand or like fighting him back. I'm like, right now he's gonna get run through and like, that's gonna be the big death,
Yeah.
One of the original Avengers.
Thanos tries to punch him or something, and Cap stops it for a second, and then Thanos is like, "Bitch, please." And Thanos is coming for Vision, and Scarlet Witch. They finally had their moment that they should have had such a long time ago, where he's like, "Can you just fucking kill me? Can you just blow it up and my head?"
Well, what we didn't talk about at all is Thor doesn't have a hammer. Goes back to that dwarf star, has the giant dwarf played by a normal sized dwarf, which was cute. Makes him, I think they call it Stormbringer or something, but that's usually a sword. In mythology, but they make some this like hammer axe combo thing that's super powerful, and Thor shows up and just starts molly-whopping people with it, and he hits Thanos in the chest with it, and Thanos is like, blah, and he's like, you should hit me in the head because I got the thing over here, and whatever, I undid everything you did. So we didn't bring up that because that was supposed to be like a major, this is the weapon that can kill Thanos.
That subplot was fine. The payoff was very cool because they're getting outnumbered now by the cockroach monsters and Thanos' lackeys, and then Thor's just like, I'm here and I got my cool thing, and he just with one strike he just gets rid of all the cockroaches, and it's super cool.
And you think this really could kill Thanos? You get the feeling like this is for real.
It had star power, he had to take that star damage just to make it, which was fine. The only thing with the Thor subplot was like they put in all this, like, is he depressed? Has he lost his will and confidence because all his people are dead, and has he let them down? And then all this like fate stuff. Like they have this one scene where it's like really setting that up, and like that's going to be his journey that we're going to see for the next 5 hours. No, he's going to go to the planet, he's going to get his axe, and he's going to go kick ass with that axe. So thanks for that setup that went nowhere, but that's just a minor gripe.
You'll see it in Thor 4. I
hope so. It was a very cool axe. But back on Wakanda, in the woods, Thanos beat the shit out of everybody.
So we got Scarlet Witch and Vision, the last 2 left.
Scarlet Witch. She's like, all right, I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to blow up that stone and your head, and it's going to look cool. And Thanos is on the other side, just like closing in. So now she's doing dual Jedi stuff. She's like, I'm going to hold him off while I blow up your brain. And what happens at this moment, at this point?
She does it. She blows the thing up. Thanos' plot is foiled. And then he's just like, it feels like, you ever play Magic the Gathering? Feels like he's got like this crazy instant, and he's just like, oh, you blew it up, huh? Time stone. Go back in time. It's back. He just time stones the bitch.
And he's like, get out of here, Scarlet Witch, and he grabs Vision, gives him is it his neck he breaks? He breaks somebody's neck.
Loki's neck. He squeezes Loki's neck. He just like rips his head off. He just like tears it off with his head. Yeah,
he grabs Vision. He says, you got that gem in your forehead now. Want it? And he pulls it out of his fucking head, drops his dead body to the side. And we've seen movies before, bad guys don't really win. So, you're waiting as he's, putting it into the final slot for like a spider web to like, no, I've got it. I'm Peter Parker with funny lines again. But no, he puts it in, and he comes so hard. And then he teleports away, Everyone's like, "Ah, shit, guys, I think we lost." And then half of all life across the universe disintegrates, and we start seeing the answer to my question at the beginning of who's going to die in this movie. And it was so many fucking people. So it's half of the Avengers, because half the population, half the it was so many fucking people.
But
I couldn't believe it. My favorite part was when there was two people, and like one of them's gonna get disintegrated, but you're like, oh, which one is it? Because I hope it's not that one. It was, you motherfuckers.
Or it'll be both of them.
Yeah, like seeing Drax go. That sucked.
When Spider-Man went, that was the hardest one.
That's become quite the meme when he can kind of feel it, and he's just like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go, which is a nice little double entendre, because I think their time with Spider-Man might be up with the Sony partnership. So him saying, I don't want to go, is kind of might be in reference to, I don't want to go back to Sony. They don't know what they're doing.
Well, once Disney buys Sony, it'll be fine.
But we lose a lot. Strange. Just so many. You have to Google it because it's a fucking laundry list. I was flabbergasted. And we've just seen Thanos do some time travel or time manipulation stuff a couple times in the last 20 minutes. So I'm thinking, all right, here we go again. How are we gonna rewind this? How are we gonna fix this? And then the movie ends.
Well, yeah, at first it's like a scene where you don't really know what happened yet. And he's like, what's going on? There's like little girl Gamora. And he's like, did I do it? Like, what happened? And then he sort of wakes up from that. And that's when we start seeing people just start disintegrating like crazy. The movie just kind of ends. Here's my problem. And too many people disintegrated. Where in the next one, they're going to somehow undo a bunch of this.
Like?
All of it. I don't know. That's what I'm worried about. Because I feel like this gives them a way to bring back the people that didn't just disintegrate. Like Gamora and Loki and... Because there's another Avengers after
there's
this.
Like the murder victims.
Right. Like, so I feel like whatever they do to like undo a bunch of this, because like they're not going to do another Black Panther. It made $1 trillion.
That's a good point, and that's what people point to immediately when I say this sentence. I hope they all stay dead. I was so impressed that they had the balls to end their movie like this Empire Strikes Back, bummer ending. And yeah, it's probably an 80% chance, if not higher, that they're all going to come back somehow. And I'm going to be fucking pissed off. But part of me, most of me, all of me hopes, stay true, man. Let them all die. I'm sure you're
talking about like the disintegrated people?
Yes, okay. Yes. Because the only way that it gets fixed is with some time travel, whatever. But I'm like, that makes sense. Spider-Man's going to Sony. I thought Stark was going to go. Did Stark go? I don't think Stark went. He was very sad. Because, there's always the Robert Downey Jr. talk of how long he's going to be around. So I was like, okay, a lot of these people, because I'm trying to convince myself that they're going to stay dead. Yeah. So I'm like, he's going back to Sony. They have a contract dispute. They don't want to do comic book movies anymore. Boom. I'm just like, please, for the love of God, stay dead. Stay dead.
I don't think they are.
No,
because Spider-Man, even though there'll be Sony movies, that character still has to be alive for those movies to be a thing. Like the Sony one that we just saw, he was in that. Black Panther, like, did they really just kill Black Panther? Like that was the one, like the big thing that Chris and I agreed upon, which we normally don't agree upon things like that. Like, don't you feel like there's so many people died, they're gonna find some way to start bringing people back or like undo everything that happened, because they're making another. This is just like there's another Avengers movie right next year. This is like half of
I think
a
it's
movie or something.
Part one. I think it's a part one. Yeah.
So they're gonna undo a bunch of this. I'm like, oh, and then they can bring back Loki and all these other people that I thought were really dead, like before they disintegrated, like Gamora and Loki and who else? There was I feel like someone else died.
Heimlich.
Yeah, Heimlich maneuver. And so I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It would be, if this was the last one, I'd be like, bravo, you.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Well, there's still I'm okay with them doing another movie. Obviously, they've got to stop Thanos, but the damage has been done. So stopping Thanos would be fixing what Thanos has done.
Right.
And it just bums me out. But I'm gonna enjoy this moment. It's like when we did our Last Jedi review, and you were like, "Well, what about this?" And I said, "Well, I'm hoping it leads to this. And if it leads to this, I'm still gonna love it. If it doesn't lead to this, I will be a bit bummed out with some of the Last Jedi stuff." So right now, I'm loving it. And I probably always will, because it was just, that ending, man, so fucking cool. People in the audience just, and like every time they would cut to like a new set of characters, people go, like, oh, like, because we know what's coming,
but you don't know who it's gonna be. You know that one of them's gonna die, but you don't know who. And then the end credits scene.
Yeah, post credits, just one post credit scene. They're in a car, New York. It's behind the over the shoulder shot, so you just hear some voices, and this was hilarious because it's the voice of Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, and I was like, oh fuck, Nick Fury, awesome. We're still behind. We only see like his ear, but you know that fucking voice. Then they changed the camera and we see him driving, and people went, oh yeah, and it's like, you don't know that voice yet? It's Sam Jackson. This is one of the most iconic voices in the world.
Right.
You have to see him to tie it together. I was like, these fucking people. But he's riding in kind of like a cop car situation with one of his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Cohorts. And then like they're seeing it live now in New York as a car gets like skids in front of them, and they're like, what the fuck, check on this guy. There's nobody there. Helicopters flying, then just suddenly there's nobody in it, and it crashes into a building, and
when nobody's in it, it catches on fire immediately. Yeah, that's how helicopters work.
And people start, and they like call it in, something's wrong, blah blah blah, and people around them start disintegrating. And his partner, Colby Smulders, from How I Met Your Mother, she goes. We see her disintegrate. And he's like, Jesus fuck, and he starts like running. He's got to get to headquarters ASAP.
And then in your mind, because in my mind, I'm like, well, there's half. There's two of them. That's half.
That's how half works in my flawed logical mind. But no, he reaches for something and he doesn't really grab it, and Sam Jackson, Nick Fury, starts to disintegrate. It's happening. Nick Fury is going to disintegrate here, but not before he realizes what's happening, and he says, "Oh mother," and then we cut again, and I was like, I just love the ending. I love the ending. Some of the subplots were all right. The Thor stuff, that fight scene in the Wakanda, and the other location, they intercut them. I could done without it. But overall, the movie's very good.
But then we see on the transponder that he called Captain Marvel. We see.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, Captain Marvel logo.
Oh yeah, okay. I don't know my comic books.
It's okay.
I forgot about that.
A lot of people didn't at the show.
I gave my girlfriend shit. I was like, oh snap, you know who that is? She's like, you don't. Just busting her balls. I had no fucking.
You're like, you don't. The end.
Casual.
Well, yeah, there's a Captain Marvel movie coming out or something.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel was a male character, and then there was a Miss Marvel, but now Captain Marvel is a woman. So Captain Marvel's a woman. And this, like very powerful Superman-esque type character.
That's not the one that turns into a boy, or the boy turns into the man, the big man.
Well, that character was called Captain Marvel back in the day, but then Marvel sued them because they're like, we're Marvel, And we have a Captain Marvel too. And they're like, okay, we'll call him Shazam because he says
Shazam. So it's a
different,
DC part.
Yeah, DC. Okay. So I'm like, well, how are they? What I do enjoy is I'm like, how are they gonna forget about if they're gonna undo all this? How? I want to see how. What the fuck are you gonna do?
It's my favorite moment. It's like when you're watching a Game of Thrones TV series live and you're like, I can't wait till next week. I'm going to talk about this with all my friends. We're going to do theories and water cooler talk and experiencing it live. The same thing with Last Jedi. A lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. But it does have that, where are they going to go with this? So you get to have a lot of conversations and you just kind of wait. And you'll start getting information, poster by poster, trailer by trailer, and that's gonna be fun. And a lot of this Infinity War here was kept under wraps pretty well. Like there weren't a lot of spoilers that came out early.
Nothing. Like nobody spoiled anything.
I know everybody. I know everybody who dies. You find out like 3 weeks before the movie comes out. There was nothing like that. When the movie did come out, you got your trolls who are gonna tell you this and that. I didn't experience that, luckily. It wouldn't have bothered me too much, but it was great to go into it fresh and seeing all them juicy deaths. And it's such a Marvel fucking PG-13 way. They just disintegrate. Mm-hmm. Like, give me that rated R where they just like melt, like blood and bone. Give me blood and bone.
Give me the Raiders arc liquid melt face. Mm-hmm. I did think Thanos was going to get everything, but I didn't think he was gonna just be like, oh, I got them all. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The gauntlet looks all messed up now, as you mentioned it, and as you mentioned, mission accomplished. It's not like we have to stop him before he does even more damage. And he did what he was like, I want to do this thing, and he did it. And he's just like, I'm just hanging out in this hut.
Well,
I did the thing.
And we'll see. Maybe that's where they kind of go with it. Because, like I said, I'm convincing myself that they're all dead. So we need a new threat for them to stop. Because she asked him, well, what are you going to do after? You kill half the population. What are you going to do? And he's like, I'm just going to fucking relax for the first time in ever.
Right.
What if he gets bored? These gods, the ego in some of these people, they, maybe they can fix it some more. And, and they're like, we've got to stop this fucking gauntlet guy, or we're all gonna fucking die. He's gonna half a half, and then do like Jesus fuck. So, but like I said, that's where the fun theories and speculations going to occur for the next year. Is it really coming out next year?
I thought it was like 2018, 2019. I think I don't think they're calling it 1 and 2 anymore, though. They were calling it like Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
That was initially.
But I think it's not called that anymore.
According to Google, when I put in Avengers Infinity War 2 release date, I get May 3rd, 2019. A year.
There you have it.
There it is. So that's our thoughts right there.
Yep. Hopefully everyone figured out what was happening, and we did say spoiler alert and don't listen to this, and if you haven't seen it, don't do the thing. So hopefully you didn't do the thing.
Don't do the thing.
Warning.
Any plugs?
Basketball Wednesday. Come watch us if you want. It's free admission. You don't need a pass to get in that place. Nobody ever does. You just show up.
I ran a 5K Sunday. I'm not patting myself on the back. I bring it up because today my legs are fucking wrecked. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to God tomorrow that they straighten themselves the fuck out, and by Wednesday I'm at full strength. Come Wednesday, I might say, hey Steven, you're starting. I might have to do it, but I'm hoping to Thanos, praise that, heal my legs.
Gods be praised.
Gauntlet. But yeah, Wednesday basketball, and we'll be back next week with episode 19. I want to talk about. Hopefully, we'll have seen this Karate Kid web series.
Ooh, right.
It's out in its entirety, and I want to fucking watch it. So maybe that can be a loose assignment that we might touch on next week.
I will look for it. I really want to see it.
This was episode 18. Thanks for listening, watching. I'm Ebony Maw.
I'm Jalen.